Steve, it looks as if everyone has memory problems. Play cut 76.
You're right, Joe. It is narrowing the gap between Harris and Trump on who do you believe will chart a better economic future for us has narrowed quite a bit, by half. Part of it is that Americans, when you ask the question, are you better off today than you were 4 years ago, many Americans misremember just how bad the economy was 4 years ago and how strong our economic recovery from the pandemic has been.
Steve, it's people are stupid, is what he says.
Well, this is the part of the history that the Democrats are making up. And Kamala Harris says this all the time as well, that we took over, you heard her say, oh, that we took over and the whole economy was a mess and it was a disaster. No, it wasn't. In fact, the last 6 months of the Trump presidency, we were coming out of COVID like a rocket ship. Remember that? I mean, it was very strong. And the American people made a big mistake, in the election. And by the way, if it had not been for COVID, Trump, as you know, Charlie, Trump would have won what? Do you think 40 states, maybe 42 states?
He would have done well. Yeah,
it would have been a Reagan-style landslide. And so COVID disrupted everything. That's why a lot of people think maybe this wasn't just an accident. It happened when it happened. But look, the economy was recovering. We had 1.5% inflation when Trump left office, and then 18 months later, we have a 9.1% inflation bomb that hits the economy, and it affects every one of us every day. And I'm telling you, if we elect Kamala Harris, we're going to see even higher inflation than that in a second term, because all she wants to do is spend, tax, borrow, grow government, and it will be quite a disaster for our country. Which is why I feel pretty confident that Trump will win, but I don't want people to be overly confident. This thing might come down to the wire. I was in New Jersey this weekend for a wedding, and turned on the football game and watched about a couple hours of TV. All I saw was Kamala Harris ads, one after. Where do they get all the money, Charlie? It's unbelievable.
Well, they get it from very well-financed left-wing billionaires from California, New York, and Act Blue. I'll tell you, Act Blue is a very formidable thing. I don't know what's behind it. They are
I don't either.
Hundreds of millions of dollars that are pumping into Democrat campaigns. Steve, we are being outspent in every major race across the country except like the West Virginia Senate race. We are being outspent. And that never used to be the case. Remember, Steve, used to say, oh, Republicans have more money. Democrats are outspending us by 3, 4, 5 times now. It's remarkable.
And I do think, by the way, and I don't have proof for this, this is just an allegation, but Charlie, I really do believe a lot of money is coming from overseas. I think it's coming from Russia. I think it's coming from Iran. I think it's coming from Europe, because none of the foreign leaders Kamala's right. They don't want Trump to be president because he's going to drive a hard bargain with them. Kamala's just going to pass out money to these people. Of course, they're going to love Santa Claus.
That is exactly, Steve, I totally agree. And there's a lot of suspicion around this Act Blue thing, because they are funneling this money in, and people understand this is not super PAC money. This is hard money. So this is money that you can spend to get lower cost advertisement, and so campaigns get ads for a lower cost per advertisement than a super PAC. A super PAC has to pay almost 3 or 4 times more. Campaigns actually, by law, get a lower placement cost. So the Kamala Harris campaign, they have far more money than Trump. In closing here, Steve, 1 minute remaining. What does Trump need to do if he wins right out of the gate to prevent a looming recession?
He's got to do the drill, baby, drill. He's got to have about 200 executive orders on his desk, and he said he will do this, ready to sign, basically reversing all of the crazy regulations that we put on our businesses. But I do think there's just going to be a burst of confidence, don't you, Charlie? If he wins, or I should say when he wins, it's going to be like taking a champagne bottle and shaking it up and taking the cork out. This American economy is ready to explode. We just need someone who's pro-business. But my closing point would be, first of all, get the book. It's called The Trump Economic Miracle. But second of all, a $5 trillion tax increase, you got to have your head examined if you think a $5 trillion tax increase is going to grow the American economy. That's absurd.
Well said.